Do you want to start us off with embarrassment?
Sure. Yeah. So embarrassment. I saw embarrassment as the four and the five. The thing that I loved about embarrassment too was a lot of fives like hoodies and and embarrassment, and I've seen fives literally pull their hoodies like that. Only they don't have the nose that embarrassment had, but would literally pull their hoodies like that. I mean, just so that the opening is this big. When I've seen that in the past, I've never quite thought of the word embarrassment, but seeing that character do that as their go-to, I don't know, it just made me laugh. But I kind of feel like that it's the five mostly, but also the four. The four is not going to be so direct about pulling their hoodie. They're gonna do something else to not be seen. But
Right.
yeah,
What aspect of embarrassment seemed to be the four for you?
I think four sort of feel when they're not seen, and then they're also they don't want to be seen, but they want to be it's a there's a push pull there. They don't want to be seen, but they want to be seen for what their unique gift is or what they're bringing. It's more just not. I think the part about not be wanting to be seen, fours will just not show up or just not be present because I think they do feel, I don't know if the word is embarrassment, but they feel this like uh internal awkwardness that they want to escape from.
To some extent, isn't that also a nine too, of kind of hanging out in the background and not
Yeah,
wanting to be
yeah,
seen?
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, you could throw the nine in there, and the four, five, and nine
Right.
on that character. I would definitely, yeah, I would definitely say that. But I wonder for the nine if there's is not more of an element of not wanting to create a conflict and rather than not be seen.
But so the nine also has a pretty strong sense of justice. When sadness was back there
Right, right.
working to try to correct an out of control situation, the embarrassment became very proactive in helping out of, I think, a sense of justice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I see that.
And he didn't follow along anxiety's orders, which is not to let those people back, right? So he was, yes, it was justice, but he was also not following the orders he got either, which I think is part of the personality.
Right.
Yeah, which could be maybe partly described as a little passive aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I was picking up mostly nine vibe with embarrassment, but I didn't know whether nines feel embarrassed like a five or a four would. And so that to me was dissonance in that is like
Yeah.
you're almost like being played by a nine, but you're representing four or five embarrassment.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think that's it. Is there any nines that we could ask?
Definitely embarrassment is something that something that does happen to me.
Okay.
And the sense of justice, yes, it's like for me, everything has to be fair and square. you know,
Yeah.
like I remember, yeah. So like as a child, I remember like we're getting served a glass of milk, and I had to see that everything was all of our milk glasses were even. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do feel embarrassment.
Well, there you go. Do you remember that character, the embarrassment character, Elaine?
Yes,
Did
yeah,
that kind of did you resonate with that character?
yeah. I could see myself. I could see that, in certain situations. But then again, if I see something that is not fair, I will overcome that embarrassment.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. Which is exactly what embarrassment does in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah,
not in a vocal way,
Right.
but in a way that creating conflict.
Provoking anybody,
Right. Right.
without inciting any conflict, but just starts to level out the milk.
Well, and just a side note, I have a daughter who was just with me this last week, and she's a 4, and she loves hoodies.
Oh, right. Okay.
And her hoodie, it's like she has to have a hoodie. It's like her protection. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
You see, if embarrassment were a 4, though, it would have been a black hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And it would have covered everything, including embarrassment's nose.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas the 5, they might leave their nose out there because they think they're hiding, but at the same time they're thinking it's funny. Yeah.
And they would also include their eyes.
Okay. And
so they could keep observing.
I got a chuckle from Anne. I want to hear Anne's response.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I identified with all the characters because everybody feels everything, but I didn't identify with the embarrassment. But I never thought of the hoodie. I do love hoodies, and it makes sense now. I'm gonna rewatch it. I don't like to be the center of attention, so I do like to hide, like kind of in the background. So now that I see it, I was like, oh, but I wouldn't call that embarrassment. I don't like to, I just don't like to be the center of attention. Yeah, now I'm looking at the character differently, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, but it's true. My nose would still be out there and my eyes because even though I don't like to be the center of attention, I like to know what's going on. Like kind of take notes. Well, of course, in my head, how I like to hoard knowledge. So
Yeah.
I still want to be in the throng of things, but I just don't want to be noticed. I'm just there to just take in everything.
So I'm gonna remind Anne of something too. It's like you pick your t-shirts and your sweatshirts very intentionally. And part of the reasons you pick them is you told us because you think they're funny.
Yeah.
Or people are going to see them and they're going to, so it's like, it's sort of like you don't want to be seen, but at the same time you think it's funny when they see you have that sense of humor. And so, and I really felt like, like that, the embarrassment, that's what embarrassment was literally doing with his nose.
Oh.
So like he would
okay.
Yeah, he
That
would
makes sense.
yeah, he doesn't want to be seen and he's embarrassed, but in a way also laughing at himself or laughing at others laughing at him, thinking that's funny. Just the whole absurdity of the whole thing. And so yeah. Whereas yeah, I think the 4s are it's going to be a dark hoodie and it's going to completely cover them, and so that they could literally slide out of the hoodie, be gone, leave the hoodie, and people would think that they're still there because the hoodie's there, but they're literally gone. And so yeah, does that sound right, Elaine, for your daughter? Yeah. Right. Right.
By the way, nice black hoodie, Roger.
Yeah. It's actually gray.
You can demo for us.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
There we go.
My son and his friend, my son turned out to be a 9. We used to think it was a 5, but he's a 9, and his friend was a 5, and they used to always wear their hoodies, and then they used to always pull it, and then all you would see is this, and that was like their little running ongoing joke.
Well, any other thoughts on embarrassment? We can jump over to another one.